So recently, I've had a lot of great questions on Facebook about different types of injuries, and one that I thought was really interesting was Lisfrac fracture. And a Lisfrac fracture is a fracture that is denoted in your actual foot. In your foot, you have lots of bones, but in the Lisfrac fracture, we're most acutely aware of the metatarsal and the cuneiforms, which are metatarsal right here, and this is the cuneiform. And generally Lisfrac fractures happen in between the first and second metatarsal, so in this region right here. Now oftentimes what can happen is you can have a fracture in that region here, in between these, usually in the second metatarsal bone, usually near the head, which is like right around here. And this can generally happen it's mostly in, basketball players, big ass basketball players, really tall centers, when they're having to pivot. That can happen in offensive linemen in football because they're having to be in that 3-point position and push off of their first and second toe. That often happens. Wide receivers sometimes, if they have long cleats. Sometimes soccer players. Sometimes gymnasts, if they really land hard on beam or on a hard surface and they're not used to that. But it does mostly happen with motor vehicle accidents, people who have osteoporosis, or people who ride horses. And the way that they break this second metatarsal is from falling off the horse but having one of their foot still stuck in a stirrup, and that can fracture that area. It's got to be a lot of force, guys. You literally have to drop a kettlebell or something on your foot to have a fracture. What's most commonly actually the issue in a Lisfrac fracture is the ligaments. The ligaments, we're going to turn up the ligaments here. You'll see that there are many layers of ligaments in between the bones, and these ligaments are super important. These are the ligament is most likely going to tear or strain or sprain right around here, in these regions before the bone breaks. Oftentimes, it's more to do with in a injury or a overuse injury. Again, this could be basketball players playing way too many games. That's why we suddenly have this load management stuff coined by our wonderful Kawhi Leonard. It could be from gymnasts just practicing too much on the floor. It could be just hammering on pavement all the time. Those are more likely in a ligament, but it has to be a lot of volume and it has to be pretty intense. Now let's add the layer of muscles here. And when we add the layer of muscles, you will see that there are several muscles that layer across that area, which is right here. And the layer that we're mostly interested in is both our, I'm gonna get out of here, undo that. We're mostly acutely aware of the extensor digitorum brevis, and when we add the hallucis, we're gonna add the hallucis longus, or is that brevis? I think it's brevis. Yes, extensor hallucis brevis muscle. Those muscles can strain, and those muscles can strain. Also, just a quick note, you have muscles in between, the webbing. It's called your interosseous muscles of your foot. Those 3 muscles can create issues in that region. They can mimic pain in that Lisfrac issue. So it's, you can of course Google all of your symptoms for your foot, but there's a reason why a lot of us doctors go to school for a very, very long time, is that symptoms are just like kind of only one variable. There's like a lot of different variables and metrics that we take in consideration when we get to a diagnosis. So one of my biggest things is to try to kind of stay away from Google and Googling your symptoms, because it can lead you down a completely wrong path. You can see that there are a lot of different anatomical things going on in this foot, and you need to have a good team, or you have to have a good doctor to be able to really get down to exactly what's going on. So this was just kind of a quick review of what a Lisfrac fracture is and all of the muscles around the foot. If you really enjoyed this video, please like the video and comment, share it with your friends, and if you have a Lisfrac or some type of foot issue or any type of sports issue, come to the Sports Pod. You can find us on www.thesportspod.co. And hope you found this informative. Move free, humans.